Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Tina and I am really loving that I'm going to get to do this spooky layout. Today is, I think it's like the 10th of October, 2025. So this is a kit, but once again, I love to share all of the sketches and, all the fun things that are in here. Now I'm going to do this kit just a little bit backwards how I normally do it. There are so many pieces. There's a crazy amount of pieces. What I'm going to focus on first are all the embellishments. So when you cut really small things like this, which by the way, this is out of photoplay paper. I love it. There is no white cord to this paper. So when you cut something like this, it's just gorgeous and black and there's no white lines and I'm loving that so much. But you want to take I'm gonna call it a pokey tool, piercing tool, and clean out all your pieces. Clean out your pieces down along the bottom with that little cutout that is going to be there. Do the little stitches on your bats and make sure they're cleaned out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to match them up. Now the bats have a shadow. And when you go to match these up, they're not like perfectly even because it's kind of supposed to be a shadow behind it and you're going to want to see it a little. So I'm not going to attach these together until I lay them out. But I'm going to take some foam tape and I'm going to pop them on top. And then the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to layer up all my mats. I want to go over this one mat here. So this mat here, which is really cool, has these two side file tabs. You are going to put this one on top of this one and then put this on top of this. And then your photo will go in there. I love the candy corn. It's so cute. It really brings these colors together. And you'll even notice the extra pops of darker orange in the candy corn and that little blue right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match up all of my photo mats. I'm going to put foam tape and go on top because you have all the embellishments are cut for this kit. And then I'm going to come back and put this on or put this together with you guys. All right. I'll see you back in just a few. All right, so I went ahead and I attached this base piece that has these super cute little double drawn bats. So they're double drawn with the pen and it adds such a nice feature. And this is a simple feature you can do in Design Space is take any image and create the outline and do it as a pen. And then the other thing that you can do is if you just offset it like the slightest amount, you can add another pen right on the other side of it, changing that. But you should check it for a future Cricut short here on the YouTube page. All right, I add that lighter orange across the back, and I've added 2 of these pieces to this kit because I have an idea that I don't know if it's going to work, and they are 12 inches. So let me give you those measurements. These ones here are 12 by 2. So in case I go to use those. All right, and I have a 3 1/4, whoops, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, not 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, double mat it, then 3 1/4, 3 1/4. All of these are double matted, and then I just went ahead and attached a photo place card so you could see where those are going to go. So this one finishes at 4 1/2, 6 1/2, 4 1/2, 6 1/2. This one has a cute jaggedy edge on the bottom just to give a little something. Then I have this. Now, you could simply just finish another mat at 4 1/2 by 6 1/2 and add some file tabs with some thin cuts or a Cricut cut or even fussy cut those. I actually have one more of these little decorative file tabs that I'm going to be putting off to the side. All right, let's go ahead and lay this out. So my thought was that, let me put a little gap in between these. And I got all my embellishments ready. My thought was to possibly put these down here with a 12-inch to provide a little breakup. And I'm probably going to want to do some black marker around the edge of those. But let's lay this out really quickly. And then this nice big photo here. We're going to have bats everywhere, of course. This one is going to go under this here off to the side. So you can do a full mat by welding your label to it, or you can just print whatever size you like and have it coming out the side. You can, you know, cut it whichever you would like. I'll put this one here. And then there's a title on this that I took off instead of it being attached. This was just a fun little thing that I did. And I added Too Cute to Spook. And that can go at the top here. Tuck either under the picture or on top of your mat, whichever you would prefer. Another big picture here. I love, we got two orientations here because we have these 4x3s over here. Oh, this mat here finishes, let me make sure because I have these two in there. So I could have, so this is 4.5. And then because there's that extra, you need like 6 3/4 on that because that holds 2 with the space in between them. So that one is a little bit of a different size. All right, and then that's going to go there. My Too Cute to Spook. I got a little eek title to go on this one here. Or maybe I'll move it down here. One of those, probably going to keep it at the top. And then I have lots of spider webs and bats to decorate. I think I'm really going to like this. Let's talk about these bottom pieces here for a second. I'm going to take my black marker. You can also ink it if you don't have the broad tip markers. I love these broad tip markers. You can find them on the website. I have a nice selection of them, and I do this. You can see how much faster and cleaner this is. I do this a lot. Now, originally, I used to only use black, and wait till you see the difference. So here it is with the black, and you can see, let me get a little bit more right here. You'll actually be able to see it's so much more with that black trim around it as opposed to here. See how there's that richer line. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then you know what? I'm going to finish this off, and I'm going to put all my pieces down, and I'm going to pop back, and I'll do my final embellishments. Oh my goodness, what fun. Okay, so I went ahead and put my pieces down. I was having so much fun that I forgot to come back and show you guys some what I was doing. So I put all of my mats down. I got those down, and then I got my embellishments out. I put down my little cobwebs, all except one. I stopped on the very last one. I have this little one. But the thing about cobwebs and things like this is if you're going to tuck them, you really can just use half of them. And so they're all different sized ones, and they're different sizes in case you want to do this and like put them down here on the corner of your pictures and stuff like that. But these are always so much fun. I really love this spider web, and I see me using it more. Okay, but I got to get my bats on here. So I want this big bat right down here, and I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do my bats, and I thought since I'm going to play with them to figure it out, might as well share that with you guys. All right, I'm just going to cut a couple pieces of this foam tape so that I can bring this in. Here we go. And I think I'm not 100, but I think I could even end up double foam taping these. So this is the shadow piece, and I decided to use the darker side, but I did want to show you, like, this is how they fit on this side, you know, and then if you flip them over, this is how they fit on this side. Like, they're not an exact, no matter which way you flip it. So if you keep flipping it back and forth, this really is meant to, you know, be an offset. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right on top here. I'm thinking the bottom of my picture just like this. And now I have to decide, do I want it to go like this? Do I kind of want the shadow up from the bottom, which I really liked? I'm going to do the shadow up from the bottom. Let's go ahead and add even more foam tape. I love foam tape. It might explain why I need so much of it in my life, but I think the added dimension that foam tape gives is like no other. I now have I have like 3 or 4 foam tape. When I don't use the whole part that I cut off, it's next to me. So I have like 3 or 4 over there. I got to grab there first now. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go up from the bottom. Oh, I really like that. Yes, I like that. So many good things there. I'm going to do the same thing over here. This is probably what I'm going to do to most of them. There are a couple things that I am thinking about adding to this kit. One is stickles to this title over here. Oh, excuse me. I am a stickle shimmer enthusiast as well. And I think that that might add a little something. The other thing I thought about that I don't think I'm going to do is you could add stickles inside all of those bats. There we go. I'm going to double these up. And I think what I'll do is let me go ahead and since I have 3 more bats and my plan is to place them around the layout with these, I'm going to go ahead and do that because I can feel that I'm getting ready to start coughing, and I will come right back with you and share all my details. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm really excited. So what I decided to do with my bats was spread them out. I added 2 at the top here, and I really struggled over these guys here with their shadows. The only thing I have left to do is to put my lollipops down. Now I'm just going to attach my lollipops at the I don't know, candy part and leave the stick loose because I think that's just going to work for me. And I'm going to add 2 down here. Now here I'm going to have to do some strategic placement because I'm going to switch these and do this one a little lower and then this one a little higher because these are on top of my pictures. So a little strategic placement when that comes around. Oh, maybe I'll go a little bit lower. I think I will. There we go. So I'm not covering up as much. Okay, so the last thing I have to add, I do wish I had put the eek on foam tape. That's the only thing I had wished. I can always cut another one of those if I want and do it, but you can obviously do yours any way you'd like. All right, I need a little bit of bling for this, and going into my drawer, see what we got, because I had these leftover bling that I pull out every so often. They're these little round things, and I think they're going to really work. These little round black things. When you're not doing a full workshop and all your pages have to match, it's so great. And these aren't going to be the only ones I put on. I'm going to kind of accent some of my spider web action here, and then I'm going to come in with some black ones as well. Now this one here, I'm going to put one here, but I plan on putting the date there or the year, something like that. Let's see, one here. See if I only want one. I do like them, but I like the one. I might stick with, okay, we're just going to do one now. My favorite, black. You can pick this up on the website. You guys know. It's for a whopping $1. I feel like this in here is a little bare, and I'm wondering if I can move this. I'm going to move this over to in here. There we go. So let me grab another one of these. Let me move this spiral over. There we go. I like that a little bit better. Okay, so these are the big ones that I'm going to go in with first. Let me just do them in thirds. Here we go, and then a little guy for over here. And then up here, I'm just going to do a medium and a small. And these are available on the website. We carry so many colors. It's pretty awesome. I think I'll go there. I don't want them all to be the same, clusters of 3s of these. I want to do different varieties. So in some areas, I'm going to do 3. In some areas, I'm going to do 2. I know a lot of people like to follow these, the rule of 3 for bling and stuff like that. I'm a rebel. All right, let's see. We're going to go there with that one, and then right here with this one. I think here I'd like one. I just put them wherever I would like them. Wherever I look and I'm like, I would like to add a little something with that. And if I want to count an embellishment in a certain way, I'll say that's 1, 2, 3 if I want. Okay, over here. Here we go. I think that looks really nice. I like the added ones. This is good to go. Okay, This was a lot of fun. Look at all the details in this layout. Crazy. We've got fantastic embellishment going on with the foam tape. Look at these bats, the traced bats. I really feel like that is just an opportunity to add a little bit more to this kit, to these pages, by, you know, maybe filling them in. Oh my gosh, could you imagine with like black liquid pearls on them, and then to do a little texturized treatment? That would be super cute. All right, so here's this one here. I hope you guys will give this sketch a try. So the bottom, a half, this little cutout portion here, this is also something you could do where you could just place an edge. The top portion here, you don't have to have something that's going to draw it. You could just stamp across the top of your layout, but you can see how it fills in so nicely. I really like it. This is definitely Halloween festive. Thank you guys for sharing some crafty time with me today. If you found this video useful, if you liked it, if you just like to see people put things together, whatever, you're welcome here. I love the creative, collaborative community that we have here with crafting. And I would love for you to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you hit the notifications, you will get if you hit the bell, you'll get a notification every time I drop a new video, which seems to be a little more often these days. And that's really nice that I'm having more time to craft and to share it. I appreciate all these things. They really help me out here in the YouTube community. Thanks so much, and have a great day. Bye-bye.